Thank you for joining us today. As previously reported, there was an incident at one of our local establishments involving Richard Reed about 10 days ago. It surrounded Mr. Reed leaving the establishment with a very intoxicated female, and when stopped by Covington police officers, Mr. Reed produced a district attorney's wallet badge. Officers ignored the credentials and conducted their investigation. As a result of the investigations, officers brought the female to the police department. They were concerned about her level of intoxication so much that they called an ambulance to check her out. Once they determined that she was not in need of immediate medical attention, the officers charged her with violating a city ordinance for public intoxication. In a minute, Mr. Renee Frederick, our city prosecutor, will address those charges. During the booking process, our victim stated that she did not want to leave with Mr. Reed, even though he appeared at the police department on more than one occasion to take her home. When Mr. Reed appeared at the police department, he did not even know the lady's name who he was trying to pick up. As last week progressed, I personally had the opportunity to view hours of evidence, video evidence surrounding this case. Those videos include police department surveillance cameras and in-car cameras from 3 different police cars. When officers involved in this case returned to work Wednesday night, I had the opportunity to sit down and speak with them one-on-one. The more we looked into this incident, the more we realized it warranted further investigation. It just didn't pass the smell test. Last Friday, we sent a detective to the establishment to see what video surveillance they had. We were able to recover an interior video of the establishment. After reviewing the video Friday afternoon, I authorized the initiation of a criminal investigation into the actions of Richard Reed that Sunday night. The actions of Richard Reed that night can be best described as disturbing. It was more than obvious, that his sexual advances towards a lady whose level of intoxication was at such a level she was basically incoherent raises to the level of a criminal act. Mr. Reed is observed on the video groping the lady's breast, along with placing his hand in the area of her genitalia on more than one occasion. When our victim realized what's taking place, she resists his advancements violently by punching and kicking Mr. Reed in an attempt to get away. We believe this is actually what led to the disturbance that forced the phone call to the police department. As a result of our investigation, we've issued a warrant for the arrest of Richard Reed, charging him with sexual battery. That warrant was signed late yesterday afternoon, and last night, Mr. Reed, along with his attorney, surrendered himself to the police department. He has since been booked into the parish jail. We will continue to look into the events that night and ask the public if they have any information regarding the events that took place August 10th to please call the police department. I will now ask our city prosecutor, Renee Frederick, to make some comments.
Thank you, Chief. As Chief stated, the victim that night was issued a citation for violating the city ordinance, public intoxication. Since the issuance of that citation, the Chief has asked me to look at additional evidence, and based on that additional evidence, the charges for public intoxication against the victim are being dismissed.